WWE has renewed interest in signing Kazuchika Okada. Blockbuster news from the Wrestling Observer newsletter. I'm going to tell you what this means not only for Okada, but WWE. I'm Omer Q for Real Take Wrestling. Be sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you get notified whenever a new video is released. All right, so Kazuchika Okada, arguably the best wrestler in the world, period, but definitely, I think, the best wrestler right now in Japan. He has been the talk of the wrestling universe for couple of years now. Like, he's basically New Japan's version of John Cena, if for lack of a better comparison. And he could be headed to WWE. Let's read the update from Wrestling Observer newsletter. Here's the quote. The pitch is that he's now 36, he being Kazuchika Okada, is now 36, and he's close with Nakamura, and Nakamura has worked years in WWE, and it's far easier on his body. The idea is that WWE is the one thing Okada has never done, and he's done everything he can do in New Japan. One person who buzzed us about the renewed interest in Okada said that one of the reasons Nakamura is getting renewed push is to show Okada that the regime is not going to treat Japanese like a stereotypical children like because Vince McMahon does that with people who don't speak fluent English. But this is a new regime. All right, so a few interesting points there from Dave Meltzer and company of the Wrestling Observer newsletter. So the first note being one, of course, the fact that they're interested in signing Kazuchika Okada again, and they mention it here. Okada is 36 years old, and it is true. The one thing that he has never done in his career is go to WWE. He has had matches in North America. He has had New Japan matches. He wrestled on that Supercard show at Madison Square Garden. He main evented that show. He also, Kazuchika Okada also has done stints in AEW. He's wrestled Bryan Danielson, Forbidden Door. He's wrestled on Dynamite. So WWE is like the one thing that has eluded him throughout his entire professional wrestling career. And he's even been in TNA, even though I think everyone would like to forget Okada's run in TNA. But bottom line here is that it's you got to think about it if you're Kazuchika Okada, right? Because not only is this the biggest wrestling company to ever exist, but you are at an age if you're Okada, right? You're 36 years old. You have to think about it. What would be easier on your body? Wrestling the New Japan style, which is great and everyone loves, but it's something that Okada has been doing for nearly his entire career. And if you watch his matches and you watch the way Okada works, yes, compared to a lot of other people, I'd say Okada isn't as stiff and isn't as hard on his body, but he does take and he has taken a lot of abuse, and his work rate is off the charts. So if you go to WWE, you wrestle a more, for lack of a better term, toned down style in WWE. Yeah, it's going to be easier in your body and you're not going to be feeling it as much. You're still going to be feeling it because at the end of the day, professional wrestlers literally throw themselves at the ground for a living, right? But I think that, like there's definitely that aspect to it. From WWE, it's a no-brainer. I mean, if he is a free agent at any point soon, he is the biggest guy you can get from New Japan right now, outside of Will Ospreay. Outside of Will Ospreay, Okada is the biggest star that WWE or AEW potentially could get over from New Japan. He is almost mythical at this point in his career as far as, the American audience, because we haven't seen a lot of him, or the general American public has not seen a lot of him. Like, if you didn't have New Japan World, you're not really seeing Okada. The first introduction you even got to him really was probably Forbidden Door last year, and even then, a lot of people, including myself, think that, like, you got, like, not a watered down version of Okada, but you didn't get Okada in the way that he probably should have been presented in his first ever stint on American TV. This match he had with Bryan Danielson, though, was probably the perfect, like, epitome of what Okada should be and how you should book him and how you should have him show up and show out. So, really, you have not seen him at all. Like he has been he's been a myth. He has been this almost mythical presence that people are like, "Oh man, like Okada is the best in the world." Yeah, like he's the best. Probably, maybe. I've heard so many people say, like, what is he actually like? And I think, you know, people want to like over here in this report, say like Nakamura. I think Okada would be bigger than Nakamura if he came into WWE, like, and it wouldn't be close. I think from New Japan, he would be the biggest star that WWE has ever gotten. And he's someone who, like, legitimately, y- day one, you could push him in a world title program with Roman Reigns because Okada has been the best in the world. He's been on God mode in New Japan for the better part of the past 10 years. Roman Reigns has been on God mode for the past like 3 years in WWE. At a certain point, something's got to give between those two, and you know damn well they're going to have a great match. As far as how likely is this Okada to WWE? Um, Obviously Okada does not really speak publicly about a lot of this stuff. I think it's generally known that he's very loyal to New Japan. But that being said, 36 years old, options are going to be weighed because you only get one chance if you're Kazuchika Okada to do this right. And while people can say like, oh well, he's already done it in AEW, but he hasn't really done it. He hasn't really made that transition. There's a difference between making appearances in North America, which he has done, and making the transition to being a full-time wrestler with a full-time presence on North American television. Okada has everything he needs to be successful in being a massive star in the United States and around the world, obviously. It's just a matter of time, and it's just a matter of him deciding whether he wants it or not. And we've been saying WWE a lot because they're the ones who express interest, apparently, according to this report. You would think though AEW is also very interested. And the working relationship that AEW has with New Japan, I don't think should be discounted because there's very there's a possibility they could work out a deal where Okada still appears in New Japan and he's signed with AEW and it's a bit of a good thing for everyone and you could do that. I'm not sure that would be possible under WWE, but new regime, things are changing. Okada to WWE. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Is he coming to WWE? If he does, who do you want to see him wrestle? Please sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you get notified whenever a new video is released.